Working on the coupe. You can see I got the rear axle underneath there. Just sitting there at the moment. Just been working like the last 2 weeks, getting things painted, getting stuff kind of very slowly put together. I'm reintroducing myself to the car. It's been 2 years since I worked on it. It was in the top garage before. I moved it down here. Unfortunately, I didn't itemize and label things and organize things as good as I should have. Definitely guilty of that. Totally my fault, of course. No one else's fault. But it's slowed me down because not only can I not find everything that I need, I'm having to like do all the research over again, figure out what parts I need, find out where I can even get them, and then I got to order them and then wait for them to show up. And that's kind of what it's been for the last couple of weeks. Definitely rode the struggle bus a little bit for a few days last week. It seemed like everything I did, I just kept going backwards. So, but we're moving forwards. I got the motor painted, been kind of bolting some things onto the motor. Again, just really slow, just making sure that I do everything correct. You know, just not wanting to screw anything up, and just making sure that I do the best job that I can. You can see the car is a little bit shiny. My buddy Joe came over and he brought his DA sander and he wet sanded, and we buffed this rear fender here, or the rear quarter. We did a little bit on the deck lid. You can see there's a little bit of a variance in color. So I think what's going to happen is I am going to end up buffing this car. I'll take you guys along the rest of the ride. We did just this quarter panel. It looks fantastic, and we just did a little bit across the bottom of the deck lid and up that one side. What's going to happen, unfortunately, is the top portion of the car probably is not going to match this. It's going to match this. So you can see the different color between the two. So probably what's going to end up happening is we're going to wet sand and buff the whole car, but I'm probably end up going to have to respray the top of the car. So basically the belt line up, what I already did the first time. And then I'm going to probably end up having to spray this. I don't know what the finished result's going to be, but I'm probably going to have to tweak the paint a little bit because there's a little bit more turquoise in the original lacquer paint versus obviously the new acrylic enamel that I sprayed again on the roof and then the deck lid. But that's a bridge we'll cross when we cross it. So my main goal obviously is to get the car to the main auto expo that's coming up 2 weekends, not this coming weekend but the following. And yeah, so just slowly working my way towards that. I got the rear end put together, so I basically got the suspension bars put on the front, or the links. This car has like a old school weird style. Here, let me see. Weird style little like coil spring thing. When I talked to George, he said the car rode great back in the day. So you can see it's clamped onto the rear axle with a U-bolt. You see that? This one U-bolt here. And it's got this aluminum pad, and then the coil spring snaps into that pad. And essentially that coil spring just sits, the body just sits on top of that. Kind of makes me a little bit nervous, but that's how it was run. I'm gonna run the car the way it was built back in the day. If it doesn't work out the way I want it to or hope it's supposed to, you know what I mean? I'm probably gonna end up changing it. But for now, it's just gonna be a roller. It's gonna steer and roll. It's gonna have the motor and the transmission in it. And fingers crossed, it steers and rolls okay. It's just enough to get the thing into the Auto Expo up in Maine. So what I'm doing is I just grabbed my floor jack. I'm gonna jack up the rear axle underneath the pumpkin, and I'm gonna get that set up under the car just so I can start making some measurements with my adjustable, the 4-link. Well, it's not 4-link, I guess it's 2-link. It's like a ladder bar setup, but it has clevis joints on the top and the bottom on the rear axle. It's kind of like a, you know, a fork like that. It's got the link on the top and a link on the bottom. They're adjustable. So I'm trying to make sure I get those adjustments correct. They're even on both sides, so I'll get the front up inside the rear, the cross member for the suspension, and then I'll jack the rear axle up and kind of see where we're at. Like I said, these springs they're not held in place with anything, so the car just essentially sits on the springs. Kind of makes me nervous. Like if there was like a limiting strap or something like that, would probably be better. But there's not, so I don't know. And obviously I have the Panhard bar that's on there also to keep things in line. I do have a little bit of painting to do underneath the car, so this is just temporarily putting it under there, making sure, getting my measurements, and then I'll probably just drop it back down and roll it back out. It's simple enough. Just real slowly, just trying to move forwards, baby steps, and just kind of going from there. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna spin you guys around, show you the motor. Woo! That's the motor. That's a custom paint color that I found at Napa, down at the Napa store in Plymouth, Mass. This guy John, totally great guy, hot rod guy, loves old hot rods, knows a lot of people that I know. Yeah, we worked on this color. This was a modified stock color from Napa. Yeah, so I wanted it obviously to look old. This is the color I wanted. I was actually back down today talking to him, bought all new lug nuts for the car, and bought another quart of this paint, this rose color paint. So yeah, so far I think it's gonna look pretty good, man. I think it's gonna look good when this thing gets put together. So got all white suspension, gonna have the rose colored motor and transmission, and then a turquoise car. Rose colored shocks. And it's pretty much it. It's just the motor and transmission that's going to be the rose color. Everything else will be white or turquoise. It's been about a week since I've done a video, but I've been in the garage. Just a lot of painting been going on. I've been working on the coupe, obviously. Been working on adding some things to the car itself. Ordering lots of parts, waiting for parts to show up. Figuring out what I'm missing. Going and looking for parts in the other garage. I got totes full of stuff. It's been 2 years since I worked on the car. Stuff's everywhere. Just kind of kicking myself in the butt for taking as long of a break on this car as I did. But in any event, I'm back on it. You guys are excited. I'm excited. So what I'm doing at this point, really what I'm working on is I'm trying to get the 34 coupe to a point where it rolls, it steers, all the suspension will be bolted in, everything's painted. Get it so I can, and the drivetrain in, motor, transmission, drive shaft, so I can put it in my enclosed trailer, head up to the main auto expo, and just showcase the car there. We're going to be there promoting the race, as I've talked to you guys in the past about. That's my motivation. That's my deadline. So I've given myself that deadline. We leave on the 11th. The show is at the Augusta Civic Center, and that's in Augusta, Maine, and the dates are January 12th through the 14th. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you're up in the Northeast in Maine and you guys want to just come say hello, check out the 34 Coupe in person, or to get some information regarding the drag race, Northeast Vintage Drags, come on up to the show and just come and say hello. You know, get a flyer, which I have. That's one of the flyers. That's the other one. Same information, different flyer. So we'll be up at the Northeast Motorsports Expo. Like I said, the 12th through the 14th of January, and we'll have a whole bunch of those flyers or postcards, whatever you want to call them. So we'll be giving out t-shirts, stickers for sale. So we're going to be up at the Northeast Auto Expo with Les Williams. Les is the guy that runs New Oxford Dragway, and he is the guy that we worked with to put on last year's event, and we're really excited about this upcoming year. We have a lot to announce. We want to include everybody. We want to include other clubs, so we're happy to report that we got a couple other people that are jumping on board with us just to help just make the event grow, make it a better event than it was last year. So we're really excited about this coming year. So basically just going to do a quick overview of what I've been working on as far as the coupe goes. Let me shut the heat off. Just got done spraying, so I get the heat on. I'm trying to keep it warm in here. But working on the coupe. I'm going to show you guys. See the little Nerf bar that I built? All right, so this is one of the things I've been working on. This is a Nerf bar that I bought. So I bought these two just vertical pieces, one on each side. Those came from a guy named Tony. He's down in Hyannis, I think, like somewhere down the Cape. I saw these. He had a old car parts ad on Facebook Marketplace, and as I'm scrolling through the pictures, I saw these, and I messaged him and said, "Hey, I want those." And he, long story short, I ended up meeting him that night, and I picked them up. But they are old chrome, and they were just the 2 vertical pieces. They came off of a 34.5 window coupe, which he owns, which was in his garage when I went there to buy them. It was missing the horizontal bar, the back bar. I originally bought these to put on the 32 Roadster in the future, but they came off a 34 coupe. I own a 34 coupe. I figured I might as well just see what they look like. And I made some mounts and I bolted them on last night, and then I bent and cut this horizontal piece and put it on there. I think it looks the balls. I'm super excited about it. I'll show you guys up close. They're old chrome, but this bar is stainless. So I'm gonna just do a little bit better of a job polishing that up in the future when it comes time. But we've been wet sanding the car. I hadn't really planned on it, but you can see that shine on that old lacquer paint. This is the color that I painted before. It's not as close as I would have liked it to be. Same as from the belt line up. So we are gonna wet sand. I am gonna wet sand and buff the whole car. But I'm just not quite there yet. So you can see underneath the car, it's coming along. I got the rear axle in. Everything that's supposed to be on the rear axle is in. Bolted up the tail lights, the license plate mount. These are the things that came on the car when I bought the car. I ended up fabricating a panhard bar, and I'm not super thrilled on these old style springs, but for the sense of just getting the car to the event, that's what I'm going to use, because that's again what came with the car. I just threw the seat in there for now, just something to sit on. Got my steering wheel just kind of temporarily bolted in there. That's a 55 Mercury steering wheel. It was red. I sanded it down, sealed it, and painted it white. Same as everything else. Like I said, I've been sanding everything. Front axle assembly is just kind of sitting there at the moment. It's bolted in, but it's just sitting there. I still have the old tie rod ends. I got the new ones on the table. I just got to switch these out. But I'm going to wait till this weekend. I'm going to get the new ones put in there, get them mounted, bolted on, you know, all the nuts and all the hardware together. I got to pull the drums off. I got to make sure that I put new bearings in. I have everything to do it. I just need to do it. Threw a little mirror on here just for the sake of doing so. I never had a car with a side rear view mirror. I always just run the rear view in the car. So the rear tire is 750/16s, Ford steel wheels. You can see I have a spacer in there to get the tire off the side of the body, because otherwise the tire is really close to the body. Yeah, pretty much that's it. Just a lot of painting going on. You guys can see the motor. I know you guys have seen it earlier in the video, but that's where I left off at this point. It's really coming together. I got my plugs in the other day. Those showed up. Modified dipstick from a flathead. It's the modified PVC valve. I need to get some gasket material so I can mount my oil filter relocation kit. I got to do that before the event. And then I got my intake here. I got to get that intake on, and then I got to get 6 carburetors that look somewhat similar to one another. So starter, completely went through the entire starter, pulled it all apart, cleaned everything, oiled everything, greased everything. It's all ready to go. That's ready to go back in the car. This is the generator. This is a Corvette, early Corvette generator. Again, cleaned it all up, got it painted, looking pretty. Bell housings there, and just tons of parts. Just still, like I said, just a lot of painting going on. There's my new tie rods. This is the cups. And yeah, so master cylinder, old Yankee Speed kit on there. That makes it go from an F1 mount to a early Mustang 2-pot cylinder. And like my brake parts and just all types of stuff, brake parts. That's where I'm at. This is some of the paint. This is what's left on the rack at the moment. This is wet. I didn't like how the first round of paint laid out, so I just redid them. And now I think they look pretty good. So what I'm working on, there's a transmission. Transmission's all done, ready to go. Fresh oil, all new gaskets, new seals. Bell housing's on, new throwout bearing, clutch forks all done, new spring, everything's ready to go. So getting close to going, getting things put away, put in the car. And this is the dash. So last weekend, my buddy Joe came over. We cut out the original panel, which you can see on the wall. If anybody's interested in that, let me know. I have no use for it now. But what we did was he cut the original panel out, put in some sheet metal. I have a 36 old chrome ashtray that I've always wanted to mount in the dash. We ended up cutting 2 holes there, and then all the holes for the gauges. After that, this dash had 2 big holes pounded in the top of it. Matter of fact, I can spin it around and show you. Underneath, you can see the welds. I've been doing a lot more TIG welding lately, so I ended up TIG welding that, and I very patiently hammer and dollied it and got it back nice and smooth. If you look real close, you can see where it was right there. So what I'm doing now, it's time to put some filler on. So I just got this sanded down real quick. I'm gonna get it wiped down real fast, and I'm gonna hit it with just a little roll lock, a 60 grit roll lock to give it some tooth. And I'm gonna get a round of filler put on it, just a quick skim coat, and then once that's done and dried, I'll get it sanded down. This is the 3M lightweight filler that I've always used. Getting ready to put a quick coat of filler on the dash, but what I need to do on the dash first is just hit it with a 60 grit roll lock disc. Get rid of those. Just to give it some tooth. I want the filler to have something to bond to. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then grab some clean sheets and get some filler spread out and mixed up. Do a quick round of filler on it. There's really not tons of areas that need filler. Mostly just a little bit across the top. Just a couple little pits here on the driver's side. There's a couple of the dings here that I'm just going to sand out real quick and then hit that with filler. And obviously go around where we put the panel on. All around right here. And then there were 2 holes that were pounded in the dash here that also got filled. So I got to get all those areas filled with filler, and then get it sanded down and get this thing ready for sealer, and then paint. As soon as it's painted, it's going in the car. It's going to be one of the next things I do. Probably be Saturday or Sunday. That'll go in the car. I'll be able to get the column drop in. I'll get the wheel and the column mounted. That'll be done. And then as far as like the inside of the car goes, that's going to be it for me for the inside until after the show. After that, after the dash and the gauges are installed, it's just temporary. I'm not doing any of the wiring or anything like that. Once that stuff's in, I'm just going to focus on the motor and drivetrain and getting everything else situated on the car. I still have a couple other things I need to do before I leave for the show. So it's not only working on the car. I bought a brand new enclosed trailer, and I don't have any hold downs, any tie downs for my car. So I got some other stuff I got to do. So let me grab some clean sheets. And when I say clean sheets, this is what I mean. You guys ever heard of this company? A lot of guys use cardboard. I use these. Very inexpensive. I forget where I get them from. I think eBay. But you simply just take and you use you do your filler, you mix. You literally just pull the sheet off, throw that away, and you got a fresh one ready to go. Get a little clip here for your applicator pad. It's a pretty slick setup. So, and they last quite a while. So let me hit this with a roll lock real quick, and then we'll clean it off and then get some filler mixed up. grab a rag, wipe it down. Now I also have the glove box. I have two of them. I have a Bob Drake reproduction and I have an original, but the original is pretty rough. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet. I'll grab some spreaders. I think I have some cheesy ones. This is all I have right now. I think it's just a wall scraper. Probably something I used for work, or I bought for work. So everybody's seen people use filler before, so it's not anything special, you know. I always seem to either mix up way too much or I add too much hardener and it hardens too fast. So we'll see how this goes. I don't have very much hardener left, so hopefully this will work. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. Who is it? Wow.
I'm here to get some likes.
You're here to get lights?
Likes.
Oh, likes.
Do you see all this stuff?
Like. Yeah.
Michael doesn't want me to take his shine. I didn't know you were really doing this. Like filming it.
Yeah.
No, filming it. I didn't know.
Oh. Yeah.
But you can cut all this part out.
Why would I? People will say, Allie, we miss you. Allie, hi, Allie.
Michael has shunned me into the house to clean the underwear.
Hope you're good.
and the floors.
Allie, how are you? More Allie. So yeah. What are you doing?
I miss all your viewers, Michael.
Say hi to the viewers, Allie.
Well, we should do a special one.
They miss you.
I know. Sorry, I'm in my PJs again.
Allie lives in her pajamas. Did I tell you Allie is currently unemployed?
She's gonna be employed again, and then what are you gonna do, Michael?
I don't know. Get a girlfriend.
What?
Don't ask me dumb questions.
You might have to. I'm gonna be an independent woman.
I'm an independent woman. I could be an independent woman too if I really wanted to be. All I have to do is tell people I'm an independent woman. And then that's it.
Yeah, but you actually have to wash your own underwear to be that.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Your qualifications aren't really.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good on the independent woman part, am I?
No.
Scary.
I don't want to go to the store.
I don't want to grow up.
Ugh. No, how come you have to skim coat that? So there's no bumps?
Yeah, this is the part that I fixed the other day, but it's not like absolutely perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just put a real thin coat on it
And then sand it?
and then sand it off.
Mm.
I'm doing one round of filler.
I bet you'd be good at doing nails.
Yeah,
It's kind of the same thing.
I'm pretty sure I'd be good at it. Yeah. Just a real quick skim coat.
Oh, are you going to put some of this or no? Because that's underneath.
That's factory.
Yeah, you
It's
won't
the way it's
see it,
stamped.
right?
Yeah, no.
Somebody invented that?
Clean sheets.
Wow.
Awesome, isn't it?
Yes. That's,
Everybody
like,
uses cardboard. I use clean sheets.
that's really smart.
Yep. Wait, me using clean sheets or the fact that clean sheets
The
exist?
fact that clean sheets exist. And also you using them.
I just like to spend money.
It's so smart.
So what I'm working on right now, while I'm waiting for the filler to dry or kick or whatever you want to call it on the dash, I'm doing a little bit of buffing on the car. You can see now where the deck lid really doesn't match the rear quarter, unfortunately, but it didn't at the time that I painted it either, and I kind of knew it didn't. I had never planned on wet sanding and buffing the car, but I just think it looks too good to not do it. So I'm in the process of doing that. I'd like to get this to shine up a little bit more. So I just did a medium cut compound. I did a glaze. And now I'm going to do the high-tech yellow wax and see if I can get any more of a shine to come out of this. Now I'm just using what I have for pads. I didn't go and buy pads necessarily, so I'm just using what I got.